Well, we're back, man, and it's video number 2 of the day. I said yesterday, when I reviewed AEW Dynamite from last week, I says, I ain't watching this shit again. Because they bored me to death. Everything on that show was fucking ridiculous, but I thought, I've got to wait around for something, I've got to wait around for a few hours for something, I've got nothing to do, I'll watch Dynamite. Fuck it, why not? And I'm glad I did, and I'm sort of pissed off that I did at the same time, because there was actually a couple of things I liked, and I know, wow, I actually liked a couple of things on this show, but the rest of it, man, was absolute dog shit. So, we're going to go from the start, man. Timestamps in the description, skip to where you want to be. But we're going to start off with a positive, and this positive is a match. It's an 8-man tag match. Will Ospreay, Ricochet, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Mark Davis versus Kyle Fletcher, Brian Cage, Lance Archer, and Konosuke Takeshita. So, when they opened up with this, man, I thought, oh no, another match. This is going to bore me to death. Same as fucking last time. No, man, they start brawling, and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I'm into that. You brawl. And the brawl actually looked quite good, right? It wasn't full of, oh, let's all flip, and all that shit. Considering Ricochet and Will Ospreay were involved in this. None of that, right? But eventually the brawl ends, we get into the match. Powerhouse Hobbs is taken out of the match quite early because of his leg. I thought, no, don't be injured again. Because he's recently come back from an injury, so I thought, oh no, don't be injured again. But they worked me, man. Tony Khan, he worked me. And Powerhouse Hobbs, he came back later on in the match. Now, this was a pretty decent match. It was pretty fun. Went on very long. Now, if you're expecting me to go blow by blow by blow like everyone else, that's not going to happen, okay? I hate taking notes. I did take some notes for some segments, but I ain't taking notes, especially for a match this fucking long, man. This match went a while, but there was a few things I liked. Will Ospreay did a standing Spanish fly, which actually made sense. I know. He did a move that made sense, that looked like it was able to happen. It looked like it was possible to do. And it was good. People sold moves. And I'm thinking, is this the real AEW that I'm watching? Is this, have I moved to a different universe where you've got Ricochet and Will Ospreay in the same match, as well as Takeshita and everyone else, and they're all working a normal wrestling match. It's an 8-man tag, but they're working a normal wrestling match, man, and I'm happy with that. That gets a fucking thumbs up from me. I liked this match, okay? I don't like that it opened the show, because I think 9 times out of 10 you should always have a promo open a weekly wrestling show. But that's just me. Nothing to complain about, really. Nothing to complain about. The heel team won. Takeshita beat Mark Davis after Will Ospreay, I believe, hit a hidden blade on Mark Davis by accident. So Mark Davis is more than likely going to cost Will Ospreay the match with Kyle Fletcher at Full Gear. So there's that to work in there. If you guys don't care, do you guys even know who Mark Davis is? I've not even got into who the fuck Mark Davis is, man. So for those of you who know, have no idea who Mark Davis is, Mark Davis is the former tag team partner of Kyle Fletcher. There was Aussie Open. I learned this maybe 2-3 weeks ago. So that's who Mark Davis is, but he's not really an important person here. He really isn't. But we move on. We move on to oh God. We move on to the Death Riders. they was in this. I think they were sat on some stairs and shit, right? And it was Moxley doing all the talking. And now I didn't listen to a single fucking word this man said. And then Claudio got involved. Claudio starts talking. First he starts talking in Swiss, whatever language they speak in Switzerland. And then we switch over to Darby Allin, who is he's basically like he's responding to what they've just said, but I don't understand how he would know what they had just said, because it wasn't like it was a split screen, you know what I mean, one of those things. It was them and then it transitioned to Darby, who's walking around fucking somewhere backstage. How did he know what they said? Is there a TV nearby? And why is the camera on here? I don't know. This didn't make any sense. So we've gone from a match I liked, and now we're at a segment that I really don't like. Right, John Moxley could be something, man, but he goes way too fucking far off the deep end with his promos and shit, man. He sounds like he's fucking on meth. He sounds like he's on meth. He really does. But that's out the fucking way, thank God. Next, we get the Hurt Syndicate being interviewed by Renee. You're going to see Renee a lot, man. Renee's there a lot. I hope she's getting paid a lot of money, man. Renee's there so much. But she starts interviewing him. I'm going to be honest, I can't fucking remember. Oh, it was, there was announcing that Bobby Lashley was going to be competing last night. I was going to say tonight. Last night at AEW Dynamite. And I was thinking, why would you do that? Well, why would you have this big guy, this big star, Bobby Lashley, wrestle his first match on Dynamite when you've got a pay-per-view at the weekend, which he's on and competing in? Does that make any sense? No. Then you see Swerve Strickland. He comes up behind everyone and attacks Bobby and runs away. He's the babyface, isn't he? He's going up doing sneak attacks and shit, man. I don't get that. I don't get that. Babyface ain't really supposed to go around doing sneak attacks and shit. I mean, I think didn't Stone Cold used to do it. I'm sure he did, but I mean, that's Stone Cold. Swerve isn't Stone Cold. Next, we had something that might have been the worst part of the show, but the main event was Wheeler Yuta versus Orange Cassidy, so it might be a close second. And unfortunately, it involves Adam Cole. Adam Cole comes out for a promo, and he's looking yellow as fuck, man, apart from his hands. Last week it was his knees, this week it's his hands. Oh my God, what's he doing? I mean, the fake tan just doesn't work for him, just don't use it. If it doesn't work for you, man, don't use it, find a way around it. Get a real tan. You know what I mean? Get a real tan, even if you have to get some... It's November, man. It's the perfect weather to get a real tan. But Adam Cole comes out and he starts talking about MJF, Roderick Strong, blah, blah, blah. And I just had no fucking interest. Next thing I know, Kyle O'Reilly comes out. And again, they've got no bass in their voices. It was like two teenagers having school play. It didn't feel like a wrestling promo between two guys I should take seriously, because they was talking about how they're friends. It's all about being friends in AEW, isn't it? They was talking about how they're friends, the history they've had together. If O'Reilly can actually trust Cole, blah blah blah. Kyle O'Reilly potentially turning heel on Adam Cole at some point, it looks like, but I don't know why Adam Cole's a fucking babyface to begin with after what happened last year, right? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. But this promo, and I wrote down, well, I didn't write down, I typed down, really bad Cole and O'Reilly promo. That's what I put down here for the notes. Really bad Cole and O'Reilly promo. And it was shit. It was shit. It felt like there was two teenagers acting school. It did not feel like two wrestlers that I should take seriously. Then you need to get some bass in your voice. You do. You really do, because you can't go around talking like this, man. This promo was bad. It was bad. Then we get the Conglomeration backstage, man, and I think they was pumping up Orange Cassidy. We see the Conglomeration a few times throughout this fucking show, individually and together. I'm pretty sure they was bigging up Orange Cassidy, and yeah, I mean, how am I supposed? I look at the Conglomeration, right, and you know what I see when I see this group of random guys? It doesn't make any fucking sense. I see. Do you remember that time when there was this random faction made once, and it was Santino Marella, Mark Henry, Daniel Bryan, and I think Evan Bourne. I don't know how long it lasted. I remember it happening. I remember it happening. That's what this feels like, because this group contains Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, Ishii. Who else is in it? Rocky Romero. I think Kyle O'Reilly's in it. I think Kyle O'Reilly's in it. I'm not sure, but it is the most random fucking team I've seen in a while, man. And again, it reminds me of that weird ass fucking group from fucking 2012 or whenever it was, with Daniel Bryan, Mark Henry, Santino, all the jobbers. I mean, Daniel Bryan was in that area at that time because Vince didn't like him. But it was all the lower card to job guys, and it was fucked up. But moving on, man, from the Conglomeration, we got a match. We got Chris Statlander versus I typed down Shida. I can't remember what her first name is. It's been a few hours since I watched the show. But Shida. And you know what I did with this match, man? It's a women's match. It's a women's match on AEW. Even if it's not on AEW, it's a women's match. You know what I did? Skip. I skipped to the end because I knew at the end there was going to be something with Monet, and I had to watch that. Obviously, I had to watch that. So we get a promo with Mercedes Moné after the match. Chris Statlander wins, obviously. Mercedes comes out with Kamille, and she starts running down the town's sports teams. I ain't joking, man. She goes the cheap heat route with the sports teams. We're sick of seeing that. Anyway, I don't care what company it is. Get the fuck out. Even when Paul Heyman does it, I can't stand it. I don't care about their sports teams. I don't care. Okay? Especially as someone who's not from America. You're talking about American football teams and hockey teams and shit. I don't care about none of that. Shut the fuck up, right? But she gets a shut the fuck up chant from the crowd, and it was a real shut the fuck up chant. They were really wanted to shut the fuck up. So did I. It was bad promo, really bad. I don't understand why people think she's so good, or why they thought she was so good, because she's awful, right? And then she sends Kamille, who's got one arm because her other arm's in a sling, to try and fight and beat up Chris Statlander and Shida. Is it Hikaru Shida? I think that's it. But you know where this is going. You know where this is going. It's Kamille. She's got one arm, and it's a 2-on-1. Kamille gets beat up, as usual, right? Now, I'm not going to fully mention the reason why Kamille is being treated the way she is, but if you want to know the reason why Kamille is being treated the way she is, I want you to go and find a channel called Millennial Smark and search Millennial Smark Kamille. It'll probably be the top video. It's very political. That's why I'm not going to talk about it here in this Dynamite review. I usually do get political, but not today. Go and watch his video. He's got the information. He's got everything you need to know about why Kamille is being treated the way she is. That's all I'm going to say. So after you've watched this, Millennial Smark Kamille, he's got the info, okay? But yeah, this segment was bad. Obviously, I didn't watch the match. I'm glad I didn't watch the match. It went about 10 minutes. I mean, 10 minutes, man. Fuck this. No, not for me, right? But the promo, the beatdown, oh shit. Next, we get the Hurt Business, and they're backstage, and they're looking for Swerve, and they think they've found Swerve. So they start attacking this guy who's got Swerve's coat on, he's got the dreads. But it turns out it's not Swerve, man. And this guy, right, when they walked into him, you could see him just standing there at the stairs. He's just standing there, looking like diagonally to the wall a bit. He's just stood there, stationary, not doing nothing, waiting to be attacked. How did he get Swerve's coat? Nobody knows, because Swerve didn't have that coat later. It says definitely Swerve's coat. It's not, you didn't buy it from an AEW merch stand or something, right? Don't know who the fuck he was, by the way, but they attack this guy. It's not Swerve, right? So is that when we get into the Bobby Lashley match? Lashley beats up some guy who isn't Swerve. Lashley versus two jobbers, right? So we get the Bobby Lashley match, and it's a handicap match, and he's against two jobbers. Don't know what the first one was called, but the second one was called Cheeseburger, okay? Now, Cheeseburger got a little pop. Little pop, right? Now, cool. He's recognisable to the people there. He's probably a hometown guy, right? They know who Cheeseburger is. Cool, whatever. I don't know who he is. But Simon Miller, you guys know Simon Miller. We all know Simon Miller. Simon Miller had the audacity to go on X, right? And say that this guy's a legend. He's a legend on the indies. Is he? The guy looks fucking like he looks like the size of a child. You're telling me he's a legend? He's a job guy. Clearly, if he's not a job guy, then what the fuck's going on in the indies, man? Cheeseburger is a legend, according to Simon Miller. Do you guys know Cheeseburger? Can you educate me on Cheeseburger? What am I missing about Cheeseburger that makes him a legend? Because to me, he looks like some guy off the street. And a wrestler shouldn't look like that. So he's not a legend in my eyes, Simon. Sorry. I know you're a big indies guy and you love positivity, but not here, bro. Lashley beat these guys up pretty quick. I mean, it was a waste of a match. It was. You did not need this match. You did not need Bobby Lashley wrestling for Full Gear. Before Full Gear, should I say. You should have saved it. I don't understand why this happened. I don't. But Lashley wins. He beats up the two job guys. And then Swerve comes out and attacks Bobby. He fights off all the Hurt Business. I believe that was a distraction at some point. Someone distracted Shelton Benjamin. And Shelton Benjamin went up to the fucking the tunnels. I think it might have been Swerve's music. I'm not sure. Can't remember. It's been a few hours. But Swerve gets the upper hand on Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin, and he runs off into the crowd. So that's the second time he's sneak attacked these heels. This babyface. Sneak attacked these two heels, man. 3 heels, should I say. So I think that's the end of the Hurt Business for this episode of AEW Dynamite. I mean, what they're doing isn't bad. It isn't bad at all, but at the same time, give them a bit more. Give them a bit more of the show. They've had 3 segments, but give them a bit more. A bit more time, please. It's better than the Death Riders and fucking Orange Cassidy. Okay, we're gonna get into that. Death Riders, Orange Cassidy, Wheeler Yuta, man, fucking Jesus. Another bit that I skipped, man. Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa being interviewed by Renee. Renee again. Mariah starts talking, man. Boom, you're gone. You're gone. Goodbye. I ain't listening to this. Or what are they gonna do? Are they gonna shake their titties at me again? Because that's all they seem to do, apparently. All these women on AEW Dynamite, especially when they're around Mina, they just start shaking their tits. Amazing storytelling. Absolutely fucking amazing storytelling. But then we get a match, and we get Darby Allin versus Claudio. And give me 2 seconds. If I'm not mistaken, Darby Allin is the one they're grooming to beat Jon Moxley for the championship, right? The AEW World Championship, Darby Allin, right? First of all, I would not book this man as a world champion. He's a tiny guy. He looks like a rent boy, right? He's got his little denim shorts and shit, right? He looks like that. He takes it up the arse for £5 on a Friday night. That's what Darby Allin looks like, okay? I would not book this man anywhere near the main event. Anywhere near the main event, guys, okay? Especially considering not only does he dress like, what's the best way I can describe this? A rent boy. I'm going to continue with rent boy. He dresses like a rent boy. Not only that, but he's an idiot and likes to put himself in stupid situations that gets him injured. So why would you want to put a world championship on someone that constantly gets themselves injured? But I digress. We have the match. Darby Allin gets a bit of offense in, but Claudio is pretty much dominating this match, man. And there's one bit in the match where Claudio, he's basically gorilla pressed Darby Allin, and he stood on the announce table. He froze him, and there's a wooden table to the side of the announce tables with a cloth on it. Why is it there? I don't know. But he froze him onto the table. Now this table should have broken, considering the force that he would have been coming down on it, and obviously it's gimmicked to break. but the size of Darby Allin was not enough to break this table. The table did not break, it just fell down. And yeah, Darby Allin made it in for the count of 9. They did some count. They actually started counting, man. 1, 2, 3. Is Tony Khan left? Clearly not, because of what happens later. But yeah, I ain't interested in Darby Allin in a Darby Allin match, especially when he's dressed like that. What the fuck's he doing? What the fuck? He's got his big, fluffy, pink, fucking furry coat and his fucking denim short shorts, man. Nah, man, not for me. Not for me. Go to GC. GCW's the right place for you, man. They have guys like that. They are Effie, you know what I mean? Go work with Effie. Have fun. But next we've got a backstage interview with Private Party, which I really didn't care about, but this did lead into it being interrupted by Double Chocolate Chip Cookie. The Costco guys. AJ and Big Justice, no Rizzler, but they had an announcement. Now, I'm going to talk about the Costco guys in a minute because they do come back. We got an MJF car promo. MJF pulls up in a car. Don't know where he is, but there's this homeless guy and he throws some money at him or something. I don't fucking know. But MJF starts talking about Roderick Strong's past, right? And he says that Roderick Strong grew up in a trailer to abusive alcoholic parents, and his mum shot his dad. Why have we not heard? If this is a true story, man, why have we not heard about this? Why have you? I know that these are tragic events, right? But when you have a tragic event in your life and you're a professional wrestler, you really need to use that to build your character. Okay? Like, for example, if I was a professional wrestler, I would use the things that have happened in my past to build my character up, right? And I would create a character that wants to hurt people, but when I've hurt those people, I feel conflicted and I feel bad that I've hurt those people. Am I a face? Am I a heel? Nobody knows because I'm so fucking unhinged, right? That's the sort of character I tried to go for, especially with a background like that. Why hasn't Roddy done that? If you know what I mean, I know it's not the sort of thing to say, but it's common sense. You have a tragic past. You use that to create your character within professional wrestling. Is my opinion, and it's what I do. I do it, right? Not for sympathy, but just to create a character. It would be the best way for me to create a character. And I think it would be a great idea for Roderick Strong to use that to create a character. Because what's his character right now? He screams people's names. Riveting, right? But that happened, and then Roddy came out and he decided to cut a promo back to MJF, who was not there. Yeah. Who cares? This was a little bit later on, by the way, but I thought I'd just throw it in now. But no, we need to go to something that really does matter, something that's really important, man. We need to talk about AJ and Big Justice of the Costco guys, who are being interviewed by Renee. Let me just get to my notes, man. Costco guys interview, here we are. So, they had a big announcement, the Costco guys. And their big announcement is that the Rizzler will be in attendance, man. The Rizzler's going to be at ringside. Amazing. What a huge announcement, right? Now, look, I don't mind AEW using these guys. I don't. Because they have a big audience, right? And a lot of the YouTube commentary channels, you know, all these slop channels, right? Penguin Zero, Turkey Tom, all these guys, they talk about the Costco guys, right? Penguin Zero, Charlie, Moist, whatever you want to call him, is a fan of professional wrestling. Now, I don't know what he watches today, because he's a little bit of the old attitude era, don't like current day WWE, one of those guys, right? So I can imagine he dabbles into AEW a bit now and then. He's going to see these guys, these Costco guys, who he talks about now and then in his videos, on AEW, and he's more than 50% chance he's going to make a video about them, and that's going to reach at least 3 million people, okay? I understand that this can work and bring in a new audience, but but they won't stay. They won't stay because A, they probably don't like wrestling anyway. B, AEW provides a fucking shit product. And C, it's the Costco guys. Their fame's going to run out sooner or later, man. Sooner or later. I mean, they're not for me. I find them funny for about 3 seconds, and then I realise that they just repeat the same thing. This gets 5 booms. This gets 5 dooms. And then they sing a song. And they eat food. You know what I mean? So, I get why they've done it, but at the same time, if they wanted to build a match between AJ and QT Marshall, they should have done something a bit better than this, because I believe AJ said that QT did something with a double chocolate cookie. He had something to do with a fucking cookie anyway. And that's what the feuds are based on. And the song he put out on X, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. Go and listen to it. We bring the doom. It's pretty funny. I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty funny, but at the same time, man, people don't like this. People aren't happy about it, and I get why you're not happy about it. But I also understand why they're doing it, but they could have done it in a much better way than what they're doing now. Okay, it's not for me, right? Then we have a video of, I think this was from Collision, and it's Jungle Boy attacking Daddy Magic, who's on commentary, and then it shows them Daddy Magic and Daniel Garcia kidnapped Jack Perry or something in his own scapegoat truck or whatever, and they take him somewhere. They've tied him up. And they start shouting at each other and shit, man. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this, man? Why am I watching 2 fucking jobbers fucking shout at each other, man, right? Because these two, right, and I like Daniel Garcia, don't get me wrong, I do like Daniel Garcia, but you get 2 types of people in AEW when it comes to the smaller guys. One will grow a beard, a big bushy, trampy, scruffy beard, and the other will go bald. Here we've got bearded, scruffy guy and bald guy. I don't care, man. I don't care about anything Jack Perry does, to be honest. But he did give us CM Punk back, so I mean, it's just something, I guess. He's provided something to professional wrestling. It's more than a lot of other people can say. Finally, man, and I think this is it. I think this is everything. The main event, Orange Cassidy, Wheeler Yuta, and I did not skip it, but I struggled to pay attention to the match, right? I thought, okay, I will try and watch this, and I was moaning, I was groaning, I was even yawning. I was yawning watching this. This match went on for fucking ages. It was 2 guys who don't belong in the main event. Practically, I don't believe Orange Cassidy belongs in a match like that. Anyway, Wheeler Yuta, he's like a tag guy. He's not a main event guy. He's not. But this match went on for ages. Eventually, I think Orange Cassidy won. Honestly, I did not care. I did not fucking care. I believe Orange Cassidy won. Then the Death Riders come out. They attack him. They duct taped his hands inside his pockets. Moxley kept punching him, and then I think the Conglomeration came out and they all walked off, and that was it. That was it. No wonder people are complaining about this show, man. I have probably, out of everything that happened, I have only one positive thing to talk about, and that's the opening match. And even then, the opening match somewhat gave away a match on the pay-per-view, right? It's better than last week's, but it's still shit. That's the best I can describe this show. It is better than last week's, but it is still ass. Still ass, but they've slightly upgraded a tiny bit from last week, because the last week's show, which I watched yesterday, bored me to death. I could not even finish the show. Couldn't even finish it, right? I got to Swerve versus Leo Rush, and I gave up. But let me know what you thought of this shit, man, because I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. It's shit. It's going to continue to be shit, and I don't know if I should continue watching it or what. You guys let me know. Like, subscribe, follow me on Crossman 25. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.